Hello, everybody. I'm Colleen Spano, and I just have a question. Can you smell the river across the street? How do you feel about the person about 5 rows back bouncing their leg? Most of us can tune that sort of stuff out, but for 1 in every 50 residents of South Bend, that stuff can be all-consuming, and that's because they have autism. Part of the diagnosis for having autism is that some, if not all of your senses, are not processed in a functional manner in your brain. So that can make the world an even more difficult place to navigate than it is for a typical person. Background noise can sound as loud as an airplane. The gentlest touch can feel like you're being pinched. So what does that have to do with any of you? Well, if you walk out your door in the morning, that means you're going to encounter somebody on the autism spectrum every day. And as business owners, and frankly as fellow human beings, we have an obligation to take that into consideration when we're building our work model and our business space. For some businesses, that's very difficult to make very many changes just due to the nature of their business, like hair salons, for example. These are not quiet, calm, smell-free, touch-free environments. So someone with a sensory processing issue can really find a haircut to be way overstimulating and exhausting. So all those new smells, weird touches, it's just too much. So my solution is I created Sheer Sunshine. It's a home-based, sensory-friendly haircutting service. I come to the clients' homes where they're most comfortable and hope that eventually we'll make the haircut a fun and exciting process. It's not as easy as it sounds, believe it or not. I've had to take my lessons from my years of parenting, and yes, I do have a child with autism. My experience as an educator, a cosmetology degree, and my countless mistakes and successes I've had working with children with disabilities, and blend that all together to make what I think is a pretty awesome plan of action for some pretty fabulous haircuts. Now, the plan is individualized for each person, for each client, but it always starts with a phone interview with the parent. During the interview, I want to find out what their concerns are, what maybe brought them to use my services in the first place. I also want to learn what are some strategies that they might use at home, some tricks, that help keep their child stay calm and feel successful. And that way I can tailor my session to things that the child responds to well, while staying away from things that might upset them. Next, I'm going to email the family a social story. A social story is a tool that we use to inform the children who I am, what I'm going to be doing while I'm with them, what I'm going to be bringing with me, but most importantly, what the expectations are of the child. Then one of the most difficult things for anybody with autism is change in their routine, any change. And it can really result in some explosive behaviors if you try and surprise them with anything new or different. This is a picture of a child having to be restrained by like 3 different adults just to get through a haircut. I'm very adamant that this will never happen during one of my sessions, and I feel like sending them the social story ahead of time sets that foundation for a really positive opportunity and a positive experience. And coming to their home gets our relationship off to a promising start. So once I arrive at their home, we take a little time to get to know each other. We play with some toys, I share my toys, I let them look at the tools that I brought with me, and after a few minutes, we'll set up the workspace, talk about what I'm going to do there, kind of, again, review the social story, and then we start the haircuts. Now, it's really, really important to me to build an air of mutual respect between myself and the children, so I try to really listen to what they have to say and oblige as often as possible. So if a child doesn't want to wear the cape, that's okay. We'll go in the bathtub. If they need to sit on mommy's lap to make it through the haircut, that's okay, we can do that. And if they say, put away those loud clippers, I totally will. Whatever it takes, or that can mean that the haircut might take 2 hours, or sometimes it takes 2 visits. But whatever it takes to make one less thing in their lives stressful, that's my goal. Because I believe every child deserves a chance to shine.